All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from Amp Live TV and the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Joining Eric's Creative Real Estate Investing Domination Live Networking Meetup with myself, friends, VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments as we come in and out. Now, some obviously you've got a link. You're in here. I see what's going on. If you want to pop in what state and city you're in, that'd be awesome in the chat if you can actually see it. Because I know it's a little bit different on every platform. Like TikTok's a little different than LinkedIn, and they got there's Twitch, there's YouTube, you got Facebook, Instagram. So we're going live and streaming across all these different platforms. I want to make sure and check that we are live on Fbook real quick. Let me double check. It shows that it is, but it says live. Awesome, cool. So if you have a link, then you've been invited. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So you should be there. There might be some muting or not, but I'm going to get into basically what we're doing with Amp Live, the real estate domination, show you how to dominate your area in whatever, doesn't matter what city, state, or locale that you're in. You'll be able to do this. If I can do it, you can do it. Just need some help, right? I needed some help, but I didn't get that help until later on, until after I started performing, figure stuff out. It took me about 16 months. By the way, my name is Erick Jimenez of Amp Live TV and Amp Live Real Estate Show. And AHA, Americans helping Americans, one America at a time, one property time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. We do have an agenda today. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick, see if I can see what we got here. And there we go. So bear with me really quick. I'm going to put this on the corner there. We got that. Okay, I'm going to open it up. And I believe it's going to be a little, so you can actually go in here and take a look. Oh, is that the lower thirds? Okay, that's a little different. Right there, boom. Go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, cool. All right. So where's it at? I know we got some PowerPoint for you. I hate to say that PowerPoint stuff, but hey, there's some slides here. Also, I'm going to share with you what's going on for, I should say, for the Creative Real Estate Investing Domination Live Meetup, right, with myself and other fellow Americans and students and mentees and things of that nature, and friends, obviously. So I'm going to go over here and pop this up. So there's a real estate domination, leverage and close deals and scale fast. I got some little tidbits here and there. I did go ahead and take some notes. Usually I don't do that, but at the end of the day, we usually just want to train and want to share and give you some value and deliver stuff on what we're doing here. How's it going, Rod? What's up? Rock and roll. Anybody else is in here, definitely do a like, love, and share, and share this with others. If you've gotten a link and you're in here, awesome. Congratulations. We're also going to be talking about how to buy. Look, this is you're probably seeing this a lot, but every day Americans are buying houses without banks, right? That's how I fell in love with real estate, creative real estate investing, right? Is being able to, can you really buy a house for $10, $100? Can you leverage it, right? Everybody, I get it. We're doing wholesale. It's a great way to get in. You're going to always get in as a bird dog, a wholesaler, and then eventually do some creative real estate investing as you start moving forward. But what I want to do is go over here. Let me pull up my notes, and we're going to go through this and talk about creative real estate investing and how you can rock deals. Now, we got some free, awesome gifts and some downloads for you, which is the Subto calculator. It was great with when we're able to get in. If you got a deal, yes, we're going to talk about a deal. So once you get unmuted there, Rodrigo, let's talk about. We won't have to give any addresses, but let's talk about that hot lead. And I'm super fresh on it, so I haven't looked at it yet, but I do have the information, and then we can go ahead and see where we'll break that down live and see what we got going on there. But for sure, let's go here. Let me see what we got. We're going to talk about 250-year edition. Yes, and we got some topics, right? I'm going to say welcome to Creative Real Estate Investing Domination Live, America's 250th edition. I'm Erick Jimenez. Obviously, we got some guests here as well. Now, listen, this is not a webinar, okay? A webinar is where somebody talks at you for about an hour and try to sell you something at the end. This is a meetup, a gathering of Americans who are done waiting for permission to build wealth. I'm obviously going to share this stuff with you. So I want to obviously share deals. I want to share that passion with you about creative real estate investing, right? And what we're doing this week for a reason is for 4 days. Obviously, we got 4 days. One of my favorite holidays besides, yes, Halloween and Christmas, but 4th of July is awesome, not just with the food, but also the celebration. Even now, 250 years of rocking and rolling the United States of America. There's a reason why people come to America, right? Not other places, right? And they're not flocking to other countries. They're flocking to America, even though, I get it. I'm not going to get into the political thing or the woke thing or any of that good stuff. My views are my views. They're my opinions. Everybody's allowed to have opinions. It's called the First Amendment. And then obviously the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment always. And I got my coffee right here. So we're rocking and rolling. I want to say thank you to all who did sign up for this, obviously live domination webinar, our live meetup. Appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and get into it and share a little bit about myself and what we're doing, the cause and mission, and how you can come aboard the cause and mission. So our goal is to help you with your real estate investing business and help you scale and grow and build a legacy. That has been the mission ever since we got started and launched AHA, and then AMP Live, the American Mentee program, or I should say AMP Live Media, which is a media broadcasting and marketing company, to be able to do this type of stuff across all the different social media platforms. I'll go ahead and kind of finish up here, right? And so as we're doing for this week, in 4 days, America turns 250 years. 250 years ago, a group of Americans, right, looked at a system that taxed them. They took from them, never gave them they gave them a fair shot. So if you kind of feel what's happening, it's kind of repeating itself. I always look at cycles and trends. I like to go back 200 years, 1800s, 1900s, and even now, and then look at those cycles and trends of what transpired. They said no. They said no more, right? They declared independence in 1776. Tonight, we're going to be doing the same thing, right? Not from a king, from a financial system that's been keeping you and others, if that's you, and there are some homeowners here or investors, they get it, right? But keeping you from renting, keeping you in debt, that's from the FICO system, keeping you on the wrong side of the math your whole life, all our whole lives at the end of the day. I'm no different than you. By the end of this hour, right, you're going to have a deal structure you can use this week, right? That's my promise. Presented by VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments in Luxury Properties. Step into excellence. In God we trust. AHA. Ready? Let's go. We're going to get in here. We're going to start moving into the second segment here, right? So let me show you something the bank hopes you never see, right? So right now, if we actually go to a conventional mortgage, or if you actually get a conventional mortgage, you're looking at about a 6.6+% interest rate, and then you got to jump through a bunch of hoops just to get it, and you got to be able to be like, hey, you got to show your your firstborn, your secondborn, what blood type you are, and all that other good stuff, right? You can share your DNA with them before they give you a loan, which is kind of funny when people say, hey, I'm talking to my bank because I need to save my house, when the bank doesn't really care about them at all. But there are millions of homeowners out there who got locked in at 3.2% back in 2020 and 2021. Now watch what happens on a $410,000 balance, right? At 6.6, your payment's about $2,600 in a month. At 3.2%, the same balance is about $1,700, right, a month. So that's $810 approximately every single month back in your pocket. Now here's the secret: you don't have to get that 3.2% loan. Okay, you can take over one that's already exists because they're already out there. It's called Subject to. Subject to is one of our favorite exit strategies, one of our favorite strategies of all, besides seller finance, yes, and wholesale, and then you got lease options and rent to own, and other things that go with it, right? And so on a rental, that $810 is the difference between a property that pays you and one that bleeds you dry. Now, just that right there, that is what financial independence looks like, right? In the real know about it, there's always going to be people say, nah, it's too much. It's not for me. I can't do it. Or that's a lot of work. I'm just going to stick to the program that I've been trained to do and stick to the training program. So it's time to break all that. And people are waking up and they are breaking, their disciplines, the way they think, knowing that there's more out there. All right, cool. Hey, Rod, how's it going, man? We had a bad connection. It's still tripping. We're going. Yeah, you are cutting off. Okay. That is horrible. It is what it is, right? That's what I was saying. Technology is what it is. We had that conversation a little bit earlier about tech. Works, awesome. There's always little things that irritate the heck out of people, and myself even, right? We're still says lost. Okay, it's reconnecting. All righty. Lost. Let's see if it goes through. I was on a roll there. Lost connection. So definitely like, love, and share. I'd appreciate it if you're on here. Definitely, raise your hand, say hi. If you want to jump on and show your face or your mug, that's cool too. Let me go ahead and bring in Rodrigo. Let me see. It was Anthony. Who else we got? I think there's a Michael. I sent. What else? We had Christopher, Alan, Tyler, Stephen, David, Richard, Michael, Christian. All good stuff, right? So let me see. Lost connection. Okay. Again, I don't know what's going on. That kind of sucks. But we're going to get through it, all right? And we're probably going to have to edit this all out. But every day Americans buy houses without banks. Okay, let me get back to it. It's still cutting out. Is it cutting out, Rodrigo? Still cutting out? Let me see. Guests muted themselves. Okay, I get it. Muting yourself. I get it. Cool. All right. It still says connection error. All right, let me pull up our Domination, real estate domination, live networking, leverage deals, close deals and scale fast. That is the jam. I'm gonna be going back and forth with my phone here as well. Let me take a look what's going on. All right. Wow, this is really tripping. Can't post messages. Okay. Interesting. Are we still tripping here? All right. So let me see. Let me take a look. Make sure we're on here. And let's see. For Frozen says live. Facebook, Instagram. So we're just going live and streaming. Are we still tripping here? All right. Oh, we're live. Okay, cool. Take a look. All right, here we go. All right, so let me pull this up. It says oops, lost connection, but we'll find out. See if we can go to the second one. All right, welcome to the Real Estate Domination Live webinar. This is the first time I'm actually going to be using this whole presentation that I want to share with you. Mr. Sweden put it together, and our team and all that good stuff. Also going to talk a little bit about how to buy these properties without banks. How you can buy these properties with good credit, bad credit, no credit. You don't need a credit score. The 4 different things that I was going to share with you. I was getting, rocking and rolling with the patriotic stuff in regards to that. And I'm probably just going to keep on. I'm going to get back to that and probably share those notes anyways. And then I'm going to get into what we do and how we do it. Okay. So hopefully you got some time here. You can tap in, tap out. Remember, if you could watch this, you could watch the replay. As long as you've signed up, if you signed up, cool. Then you're going to get access to the replay. We actually want to get you on here as well and touch bases with you. If someone calls you, don't be rude. It's just going to be myself or maybe someone on our team or a member of our team where we just want to share, see where you're at, see how we can help you out. If there's a way to get it done, we will get it done. We're super flexible in how we do stuff. Depends on what type of program. The Amp Live Accelerator, is it the AHA community, or is it the one-on-one mentoring program, which is a selection process that's a little more in depth. And that's for when you're ready to rock and roll and actually build your business. Think of it like as a franchise, okay? So door number 1, okay? Door number 1, subject 2, you just saw it. Take over an existing loan rate. The rate says the payment stays low. Perfect for a seller who needs out. A job relocation, a divorce, 2 payments that they cannot carry. It does happen. A lot of stuff was happening in Washington. We had a mentee out there, New Mexico, and other mentees that are throughout the United States of America. That comes up a lot. Got a job relocation, and they had to take off. And they couldn't sell the house here in town. So they listed the property, but they still got a mortgage. And then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and they just made 3 months of a mortgage payment that nobody lived in. The house is ready to go and get sold, but it didn't get sold. And they're over at the new location with either a new property or a new rental. And now they have 2 payments. So it's just pretty much bleeding, right? They're bleeding out. What happens when we come to the table? We're able to help them, right? Hey, we can either buy this property subject to, take over the existing mortgage payments, and go ahead and get you some cash up front if that's the case. Or maybe sometimes it's just best to take it over. Let's stop the pain, stop the bleeding, and then we'll go ahead and put our money into it, fix it up, put it back on the market, and then resell it. Boom, cash out the seller. They're happy campers, and we get a nice testimonial and move on. Sometimes maybe it's a seller finance type deal. Maybe it's better a seller finance. We get them some money, we take over the mortgage payment, and then sell it off and do a wrap, or we sell it off to someone else, or we just keep it in-house and keep it as a rental and cash flow it, depending on what that may be, which I know we're going to be doing a lot of that stuff in Texas. So I know that be honest with you, we are in Texas as well, the Texas Triangle. I actually like Dallas, Fort Worth. I like the San Antonio area. Austin, it's cool. Don't take it personal. Not a fan. I get it. I'm sure it's nice. It looks like California, but we want to leave California crap in California and not take that to Texas, right? Even though Elon Musk is in there doing his thing, but it seems like a lot of people are even the demographics and then the houses and just the vibe. I get it. Hey, I'm not here to say anything bad or, about anything. And then Houston's cool, but I hear there's a lot of congestion. There's a lot of whatever. Same thing with Corpus Christi. And then getting down into, just that Texas Triangle, and Dallas is what it is. Dallas is Dallas, right? I don't know if you've ever seen the sitcom Dallas. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid. So, all right. So door number 2, seller financing. The seller becomes the bank. Boom. That's what we're just talking about, right? No new loan, no bank qualifying. So you don't got to qualify. You don't have to get a new loan. And here's the beautiful part. For the right seller, especially someone who owns it free and clear, tired landlord, pro tip, tired landlord, right? Or not, or probate, could be anything. Carry the note is a tax win, right? They spread their gain out over years instead of taking one big hit, right? You solve their problem and they solve yours. So the more problems you solve in this business, the more money you're going to be making in this business. I'm not sure if this thing is frozen, but I think it might be. Hopefully you can hear me and I'm not just blabbing here. Are we good? Nope, I think we're good. All right, awesome. So, okay, good. All right, let's go to door number 3. Are you ready for door number 3? Here we go, door number 3. Let me see, are we good? Let me put this sideways here so I can actually see what's going on. I think I got myself on mute. All right, so door number 3, wholesale, right? Everybody wants to wholesale. Everybody wants to be now, before bird dogging wasn't a thing, or it was when I got started. And then bird dogging was all about, really not too many people knew about it. It was all about wholesale. But a lot of wholesalers who called themselves wholesalers were really bird dogs and just bird dogging, but wanted the $5, $10, $15, $20,000 paychecks without doing the work. You can't get a $5, $10, $15, $20,000 paycheck or a check by going, here's a number and here's an address. Can you give me $5,000, $10,000? No, the answer is no. You get what's called a bird dog referral fee. So then they try to do hybrids of things of that nature, and I get it. And if you do this and you do that, this and that, so some people go, oh, no, that's not what a bird dog is, right? And then the newbies can try to argue all they want. That's not what they said on YouTube or this program I'm in. They said this and that. I said, that's cool. Call it whatever you want, young man, young lady, all good to go. But I'm not paying you that. I literally had one lady call from here in Corona. She was having a hard time with this and that, trying to wholesale, trying to do this, trying to do Subto, trying to do seller finance, blah, 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 blah. She goes, finally, I'm just going to be a bird dog and find properties for investors, right? Now I'm using my voice now, a girl voice, whatever. And she's like, look, I got these properties. Take a look at them. Here's the addresses. And, or whatever, I believe, or maybe they weren't, but the pictures and some numbers. And I said, okay, great. They look pretty cool. What do you need? What do you want? Well, I want $5,000 for each one. Otherwise, I'm not going to connect you to the people in this and that. So I'm not going to pay you $5,000 for that. I'll pay you a referral fee. If we buy it, cool. If you're going to lock it up, then go lock it up yourself. But lock it up at these numbers, because if you don't lock it up at the right price, it's not going to work. And we went through the numbers. He goes, I don't think they're going to do that. Then I don't know what to tell you. You go get it done, or you give me the information. We'll get you a referral fee, and then we'll go get it done. And hey, you got a nice testimonial, right? But it's not going to be no $5,000, $7,000 or whatever she wanted. At the end of the day, it's going to be no $250 to $1,250 or more if there's a bigger spread. I can't do that. I said, well, good luck to you, because you've been in my ecosystem. You've been in our ecosystem for a couple of years, and you're still spinning your wheels. You went to some other, try to help out the elderly people type program. You went to this program, that program. I finally said, look, you already know we got a program. Come aboard and stop spinning your wheels and trying to sell me some crap. But, it is what it is. You You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's the jam. You know, I've done it before. You know, people try to lead me to water. So I don't want to drink that water. I don't know about that water, or 20,000 questions about the water. And I don't know. Just freaking, if you know it's good, go with your gut and rock and roll, make it happen. Right. But anyways, let's go. Door number 3 is wholesaling. That's right. You control the property with a contract. And the most, I guess, awesome, beautiful word for wholesalers, right, is assign. You can assign that contract if it's in, and you can assign any contract. It doesn't even have to say and or assign in it, because every contract is assignable. But there are other companies out there, I won't name who they are, but they have unassignable contracts, and they won't allow you to sell contracts, but they are a host, but they're assigning and they're wholesaling at the same token, but they won't allow you to do it. That's bullshit. So it is what it is. Call it JV, not JV, whatever. But you're assigning the paper, you're signing the contract to another investor who's going to buy it. And it's kind of like almost even like an option, right? But it's called assign. So you assign that contract to a cash buyer for a fee, and then little to none of your own money. That's, so that's why people go, I can get in this money. I can be a real estate mogul. I got to spend a bunch of money. No, it's a business. You should be spending some money. You need to spend some money. You need to have a budget to do this business, but you don't need like tens and millions of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars. Unless you're scaling up and you're going to get a mentor, you're going to get a coach, you're going to plug into a system, and you're going to eliminate the 3 to 5 years of spinning those wheels, which you will. I guarantee it. Mark my words. It happens every time. All right. So let's keep on rolling. I'm about the eyeballs. I'm going to beat up my computer here, right? So this is how a lot of people do their very first deal, right? Who all tell you, which I'm going to tell you about. There's going to be, Brett did, he wanted to get in, spent $20,000 and then did a wholesale deal that turned into a fix and flip. So when you're working with us, your first deal might be a fix and flip. It might be a wholesale deal. It might be a subject to, it might be a rent to own of some sort. Okay. Now, door number 4, I'm going to share with you, but I'm going to move on to the next slide. This is one that is new to the market place at the end of the day. And in the 1970s, early 80s, it was actually a novelty type thing, right? It's called novations. It's just a way to bypass a couple of things. I'm not going to get really deep in it, but the novation process is working for people. It's just an added thing that you can do with your wholesaling. Yes, there's not much paperwork, not as much as a sub-2 deal. You can do a sub-2 deal with probably not as much paperwork as we use, but we like to put properties in subject to and put them into a trust for legal and tax purposes, notifying certain people to make sure that things get done in a way that protects us, protects the seller, and protects our investors at the end of the day, okay? So I know there's a lot of reading here. I'm not going to go ahead and go through that, but, you can take a look at some of it. It says, but hey, I asked a realtor. It's basically some stories here. I'm going to move to the next one here. Okay. Hopefully this thing is working the way it needs to. Yep, it sure is. Awesome. So when I first started in real estate, I thought success was only for those who with big money, perfect credit, and all that other good stuff, right? Tired of following traditional advice. Saving a down payment, trying to get bank loans. Have you ever tried to get a bank loan when you started getting out? When you started, in early years, right? But I kept getting roadblocks. That's the truth. I'm not gonna. It's no lie. At the same token, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up number 4. Okay, so number 4, right? I'm hopping around here and I'll get started, but I'm always gonna circle back and close it all up so you understand it. Number 4 is called novation. Now, when the seller has equity, right, but no cash to fix the place up, you partner with them, right? You add the value. You can relist at full market value and split the upside, no acquisition required. So, for example, we're rocking one with Mr. Rodrigo. Right? It's an Irvine property. I think I might have mentioned this already. And Rodrigo, if you have your ears open, if you want to jump in and we could talk about that, we could. If you're doing something cool, but I appreciate you watching and locking in. We can go from there. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So since we're on the topic, and then we'll kind of move forward. At the end of the day with the rest of this rock and roll is here. So let me see. This was Irvine property. Okay. You remember that one, right? And I know you got a hot lead, right? So if you got a hot lead, we don't have to have the address, but what is it, just from your experience, what does it smell like? Like a wholesale deal, a sub-2 deal, one of the 4, right? Is it sub-2, seller finance, a wholesale deal?
It's going to be seller finance or wholesale, straight wholesale cash offer. I'm looking at the property right now.
Cool.
And based on photos, it's an NOD. Oh, okay. And based on photos, the house looks dilapidated.
Wow.
The grass looks tall, really tall.
Okay.
The front looks, really bad shape, bad roofing. cars broken down on the front of the car on
Really?
the house. So yeah, I think this person just wants
Okay.
out. The last
Love it.
message says, "How much would you pay me? I want to sell as is, buyer's price or closing costs." The only caveat to that is that they want 90 days after closing to be able to move out. Um, I don't know that that can be done without a seller carryback or seller lease back. But most investors that I've sold deals to, they 30 days. 30 days is the most.
Yeah, and we'll touch bases on it a little bit as we move forward. But
Mhm.
then when we have a private convo, I'll share details with you on how we'll work that one for sure. Let me make sure. So you're thinking seller finance. Why do you think seller finance? I'm curious.
Equity. They got a lot of equity on it. Let me see.
So there's a lot of equity in it.
Yeah, seller has owned it for 22 years.
22 years. Okay, I'm taking notes here. So 22
Yeah.
years. And what else did he share with you?
No, nothing that she has shared, but I see a loan for 260 back in 2018.
Okay,
Yeah,
2018.
and then Zillow shows estimated at 1.5. Realtor.com estimates it at 1.6. My real estate software estimates it at 915, 950,
How
somewhere
much?
like that. 950.
950. Really?
Yeah,
950K? Is that because
yeah.
as is or actual retail?
Actual retail.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's a big jump there. It's almost a half a
it's a
million
big
dollars.
jump, and I think at some point in time it was listed on the MLS last year,
Really?
and it was listed at 1.6. So I think Zillow and other websites are taking that as kind of like the price.
Oh, right. The algorithm
Yeah,
doing its
yeah,
thing.
the algorithm exactly. Yeah, but on my software it shows 950, and I'm looking at certain comps, 850, 900, a little bit smaller. So yeah, the 950 it's kind of up to par with what I think the ARV is. I
And
don't
you're
know
thinking
why they
retail?
listed at. I have no idea why they would list it at 1.6 though.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean it
And it's
says
been.
list.
Do you know what the default amount is on that?
No, it seems like on Zillow it says 200 something unpaid balance.
You're okay. So you say you have software, so your software should have that information, right? Or no? If not, I'll look it up.
No, not on this one.
Okay, so ARV, we're looking at it was listed at
Listed at
1.5 million,
1.6.
1.6, and that was when
Yeah,
last year
1.6.
in the
Yeah, it
summertime,
says
same time. What?
no, this was last listing price 1.6. It went on pending. Listing date 12/15/2025. So just 199 days ago.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do this here. So calculator and pull this up.
Actually, I can see the listing description. This property offers excellent upside potential for investors. So they were trying to sell it to investors strictly, and trying to
Really?
sell it. Yeah,
Okay.
they were trying to sell it as I can see where the value is at 1.6. They're trying to sell it with the ability to build the ADU.
Okay. Now you have in the private chat. Can you do me a favor and send me the
Yeah,
address real quick? And then I'm not going
yeah,
to pull it up, but I'm gonna do some numbers and we'll rock a wholesale calculator and then maybe a innovation calculator and see what we got there. If you're thinking wholesale and you're thinking seller finance, I'll pull that one up too. We'll run some seller finance. But you are thinking, okay, cool. Age of the property. I'm going to look up the default
uh,
stuff too, real quick. So let me see what I can find.
yeah. Age is built in 1964. It's a three
Wow.
bedroom, two
Okay.
bathroom, 3 2, 1420 square feet.
13 what?
1420.
1420. Right, that's like
Yep.
a first time homeowner type thing, right? Looks like it's pretty small
Yeah, I
house,
think so.
that
And
area.
it's sitting on .30 acres. I don't know
Really?
what that is.
Oh, 0.30
Yeah,
acres. So a
yeah.
little over what is it? A little over pretty big lot, maybe. I think it's got to be 0.3. It's going to be like a little over. Let me see the acreage. Let me see.
13,000 square foot lot.
There you go. Yeah, over 10,000.
Yeah, so I think that's why they were trying to gain more money out of it. The ability to sell it to an investor who will do an ADU on it.
Oh, right. Yeah, ADU got more. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to check out zoning or no?
Zoning. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It says War 18500RU. Not really sure. That's
It's okay. We'll check it out. I'm gonna see what we got. So we got on here. So we got okay. There it is. All right. There it is. Found it. Okay. Cool. Okay. So yeah, what a big. Yeah, I wonder why they would try to list that thing for so much. That's crazy.
that's quite a lot, even as a ADU.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like okay. So.
But I mean,
so,
they didn't sell it. It went off. It went pending, and I
okay.
think
It
after it's
did.
pending, whoever, yeah, it shows like it was pending on my software.
Oh
Listing
wow.
status pending. So I have a feeling that somebody offered money close to the asking price, and then they went and did a site survey, and they didn't think they could do the full ADO that would value at 1.6. That's my best guess.
All right. So I'm looking at title history. It's a little interesting, right? So we got some crazy stuff here. A couple, maybe 260 on each one. It's it looks like the same loan. So I don't know if there might have been a loan out of some sort. Because the first loan says in 2003. So I'm thinking this might have been a loan that was done a long time ago. They might have did the 80-20 thing, or they might have one of these what I call ghost loans, right? That come back. So usually about 15 years later, they come back because they think, hey, there's no second. Well, unless there was a loan mod of some sort and they wrapped it all together. But it does look like there's a first and then a second, right? And then the second is 2018. It looks like the first was a line of credit way back in 2003. But then it's like, okay, what's the? I'm most likely going to think that this is probably from the second and they're foreclosing. But the first, I don't know what's going on there. So that's where we have a conversation, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we go ahead and he wants to. Did he say when he wanted to chat?
No further details.
No
I was
worries.
on the road when. Yeah, I was on the road.
That's right.
Yeah.
So usually protocol anyways, but we're just gonna go do it just for the show. At the end of the day, is look at these numbers and have maybe people can get inspired, look at the stuff, and and then go from there. But usually it's just, hey, we look at it, we go and set up an appointment, we talk to them on the phone, do a full submission, get all that information right, submit it, you get a copy, we get a copy, we start underwriting, we look at it, see what's going on, and then we start running the numbers like we're going to run right now. So you're thinking wholesale, right? So if you're thinking wholesale, and then you're thinking maybe some seller finance, or at the end of the day, with this.
Yeah, with the amount of equity, seller finance, I'm thinking.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and let's start off. We can pop in seller finance. Let me see if we got that up right now.
Yeah, because for novation, it doesn't look like this property would be qualified for novation. It looks dilapidated. Like it'll probably.
That's okay. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
We can list anything. It doesn't matter how jacked up it is, right?
Right.
Of course, it does matter how much money we want to put into it, right?
Right. Exactly.
So you can still list it at a discount, but the seller has to be able to say, look, remember, we're gonna do the same thing like we did with Mr. Irvine, right? You got a cash offer. You got we didn't throw him a sub-2 offer because it didn't make any sense to do a sub-2 or a seller finance type offer because the price point's too high. His mortgage is $4,000, and he has hard money loans on there that we don't want, right? Because the interest rates suck. So none of those things were things that we wanted. So we didn't offer that to him. Then we did offer the novation, which is the VIP equity guarantee. the AHA equity guarantee. So that means that VIP number that we offered him, is just what it is. And we had to explain that to him, right? We're going to do the same thing with this gentleman, but we'll run some numbers here just so you can look at them and we can look at them. And others that are watching this, definitely like, love, and share. And then obviously, go ahead and you can watch this forward and backwards when it's over. And definitely, if you're already signed up for this webinar, then you'll be able to get a replay. But check this out. So there's going to be a wealth of information that we're going to share. So awesome. Good. I'm excited, man, to take a look at what we got here with this property. But going back and backpedaling a little bit to Mr. Irvine, that's what that happens, right? Is like, hey, is that possible? So what is the best thing for him? Which is probably going to be yes, because this property is pretty nice, right? And it doesn't need much work. And even if we did put in some money, maybe clean it up a little bit, maybe a little paint and this and that, a couple thousand buckaroos. And even then, you don't have to spend any money on these novations unless you want to, right? Because people are saying, yeah, clean it up, hotel it, all that good stuff. You can, if you want to obviously get a little closer to retail, like this one he said, is jacked up. Novation may not work. But you know what? A sub 2 might work because it is jacked up. And if we can negotiate it like a cash deal, the same way you would do with a wholesale deal, right? 60, 65, 70 cents on the dollar, maybe 73, 75 if it's a hot market. Do you know what days does it share days on the market? How many days it takes to sell something like this?
No.
All right, no problem. Let me see if I can catch it here on the history, or we'll go to market. I'm looking at a piece of software as well. So you can use whatever software, PropStream, if it's a CRM. There's all kinds of stuff like PropLab and all kinds of AI stuff nowadays. But it says market. We're looking at, let me see, days on the market. Let's take a look real quick. We got for this particular area, I'm not going to see what it is, but okay. Sheesh. Okay. 32. Oh, that's not bad. Is LA, Rodrigo? LA is about 71 days on the market, believe it or not. And it's supposed to be LA. Isn't that supposed to be like the hottest market besides Orange County, right?
Yeah.
Like Orange County is like 30, 45 days, which is less. And this one happens to be, this is according to this, based on the home sales. And remember, statistics are statistics, right? And you know that in AI. But 32 days. So that's good. I like the 32 days, man. Anything under 60 days is good. Anything under 45 days, I'm loving. So this looks like this is gonna be a good one. We just gotta have a meetings of the mind with the owner. All right, so looks like a notice of default. Oh, sheesh. Okay, yeah, we're probably getting close to a notice of trustee sale, man. Let me see, and they probably postponed it several times. So we'll look that up. I'm not going to do it on this particular live, but I'm going to share it with you when we're talking, right? I'm going to show you some pro tips, bro, on how to actually look this stuff up, how to look up the trustee and the note and all the good stuff, but give them a call, trustee number, and then seeing what's going on. At the same token, looks like there might have been a private lender on this, right? And we'll double check that when we talk with the owner, because then that makes it a little harder, right? It would make it a little harder for the sub 2 unless we pay it off, right? Or pay them off.
Right.
Wholesale straight up, yep, it's smelling pretty good. The seller finance, depending on, well, we'd have to get rid of Mr. Private Lender to make that happen, but we're going to put it in here anyway. We're looking at 241 and some change, but you got to remember the payment, right? What was the payment on something like that? It's not a big loan, but we're probably thinking maybe a couple thousand, 14 to 2,000. Notice trustee sale. So this was recorded on in November, you said, right? Of last year?
It seems recording was December.
All right, so we got about 6 months in of back payments. So you might as well, you got a calculator with you? Or I can do it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so I believe we're going to go with, let's see, what do we got? 147, 260. Let's just go with, we'll go with worst case scenario. It's probably, but we'll go with 1,900. Go about 1,985 times 6.
On my software, it shows loan type adjustable rate mortgage.
Yeah, that sucks.
Possible interest rate 4.19.
Device disconnected. Device paired.
Okay, and does it have a mortgage payment, like an estimated mortgage payment?
What was that? I got cut off. Sorry.
No problem. Does it have an estimated mortgage payment? Like I'm seeing 14 to 19, possibly. based on
From the four, no, not estimated. Total amount, estimated balance, estimated payment, 1273.
no, it's gonna be more than that. So let's just go with the ugly numbers.
Yeah.
Pop in 1985. It's okay. 1985. And times that by
Lucky
6.
number. Lucky
For
number.
1985, 1,985.
Got it. All right, so that's 11,900, shy of 12 grand.
All right, so 12K. So we'll say it's high, and we're looking at a trustee sale. This is right now. Well, of course, there's going to be more fees, but we're going to guesstimate. Usually, when you have this, if it's still notice a default, then it's at there's a certain amount, there's a certain number until it doesn't notice a trustee sale. Then you add about $4,000 to $7,000 more on top of the attorney's fees. But we'll go with 241. Let's say 242 plus 12, right? So 242 is the most likely the bidding amount, 242K. And it's probably gonna be a little higher than that. So we'll find out when we speak with them and we get the mortgage statement, all that good stuff. So we're looking at 242 and 12, right?
244 total.
What is it? 244?
I mean, sorry, 254. Sorry.
254. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that number, 250K. We'll say, and remember, this is not an exact science, but we'll go in and you want to start with the wholesale or you want to start with the seller finance? We'll let you pick.
Let's do wholesale.
Okay. So let's go ahead. If you can see the screen, we're going to pop in the screen. We're going to go with after ARV, you came up with 950, right?
Yeah, 950.
Okay. So we'll go 950. Then we're looking at the lowest comp. Do you have any comps for this stuff? Or do you have like a low and high comp for me?
Let me see. So I got.
I'm going to adjust days on the market to 31 days, which is cool.
Lowest comp, come on. Low 800s, 818.
Okay, 818.
Yeah,
All right. And then the highest comp you're thinking?
958. I see one.
958.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're looking at did he say what he was looking for? How much?
No, not yet.
Okay,
No,
no
not
problem. All right. So let's assume that it's we're looking at let's say it's 950 minus 8%, right? Which is going to be minus 8% for let's say real estate agent, right? Let's call that what it may be. Plus, we're speculating here, and I don't like to assume, but we're going to go ahead and based on what you shared with me, that would be. Let me see, 950 times 8%. What do we got?
76,000.
What?
76,000.
Oh, 76. Okay, minus 950, right? So 76 minus 950, 76. We're at 50 minus 76,000. So 874.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll call it 874 here, even though that's not going to be our number. But we're going to be looking at 73 cents on the dollar. Because the market seems hot, so we can always go a little higher. Our investors are willing to go 73, 75, and even 80 cents on the dollar because they want inventory. All right, so as we go through this, for acquisition costs, right, closing and all that good stuff, we're going to go to end buyer hold cost. We're talking like hard money. We're going to do, let's say, this was 874,000 at about 75% for the hard money. So we pop in some hard money and go 874 times 75% LTV. Look at about 655. Now this is not exact. We got a hard money lending calculator as well. I'm not going to pop that in right now. I'm just going to go. I'm going to we call it free ball it. So we'll go 655,500 for the loan amount. 655 500. And then we're going to go to the wholesale fee, right? So how much you want to make on this thing? So you're looking at a target assignment fee for this particular property.
20K.
Okay. Can we do 20K? All right, we'll put in 20K, then we'll put in 25 after. Okay. So we got 20K in there. We do assignment of deal and buyer's minimum profit. Now, this is just something that depends, right? Depends on the buyers. If you're working with a certain buyer, some are dollar amount and others are percentage, right? So it lets you work with this. We'll just say minimum of 55,000 to get in, fix it and flip it, and they're happy with 55. You have investors that were happy with 30, 35, which is like Midwest stuff, right? If you do a double close, it's not as doesn't cost as much, about $1,500. We're looking at hard money, 9%. Yes, there are lower and there's higher. 2 points, 2% they're going to charge. Then we got rehab duration. I'm going to put 2 months on this because he said it needs a lot of work. It looks like, right?
Yeah. Pictures. So I'm
put 2
putting
months on the.
Yeah, I'm putting
What is
at $40 a square foot. Is that good for heavy rehab?
If it's cosmetic, you can go probably, in California for what we're looking at, and it's a good area. You can go 30, 35, $40. That's fine. So 30, $35 is usually safe for something like this because it is a good area. So $35 a square foot is just going to be all cosmetics, right? Kitchen, bathrooms, floors, paint, molding, doors, doorknobs, fixtures, ceiling fans, right? Doorknobs, all that good stuff, right? A little love to the front yard and a little love to the backyard, usually $500-$700 or so, depending on how bad it is. If it needs a lot more, then obviously we're talking, it's going to cost a lot more. So I would say that's being conservative at $40. So that's cool. Or not being conservative, I think that's adding some extra cushion there. Because even when we do this at $35 a square foot, we're still going to put like a 10% variation on top of that to just in case for things do happen. And then if there's mechanicals like the roof, electrical, you're going to have some plumbing, all that good stuff. If anything else or even foundation issues, then that could go up to about $65, $70, $80 a square foot. So let's go with, what do we got? I think you're going with $40 a square foot on the rehab.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see what we got for the rehab here.
56,800.
How much?
56,800.
Okay, 56,800. That's for all cosmetic. All right. And then we're going to go with the fee. We're going to say minimum, so offer. So your contract price obviously is going to have to be, we have to pop in the contract price, right? So if we're going 950,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we got 950,000 buckaroos, we're going 950. Do you have an actual number ready to go or we need to do it right now?
Yeah, let's do it right.
Okay. So 950. And we're going to do times, we'll go 70% on this one, okay? Even though it's a hot area, we could go higher. That just means you're messing around with it, right? So we're at 665, okay? And then we're looking at 56, 58, 57,000 on rehab. All right, about 608. Is that what you got?
Yeah. Six,
approximately. Okay, so we'll go with 608,000, right? Yeah, is that good?
Yeah.
So your contract price offer the seller, obviously, and then we have our 20K in there, right? So the 20K. Then we got let's go right here. Let's do this. What we got minus for 20K, minus 20K, you said?
Yeah,
so
minus 20K.
Yeah, 588. So we're gonna pop in contract price. Whoops, there we go. Buyer's profits. Okay. Go back up here. Here we go. 55. 55. Oops. Sign your assignment price. So our contract price to the seller, and then we're going to sell it to 665. 665. And then we'll go down and look at. You can look at the maximum law of offer math. We're looking at 70% is 626, 75% 674, 65 is 579. We're actually at 588, so we're a little bit over the 65. Then we got 950 agent commissions, blah blah blah. Keep on going. We're at $38,000 under maximum allowable offer. Then we're going to look at the profit analysis for the investor. Now, obviously, we're looking at all buyers in purchase price, rehab. Rehab, we got 38,000. We're going to have to change that with contingency. So I don't know why you got 38,000. I put the wrong number in. Let's see what we put for rehab. One second. Top. Maybe I missed it. Moderate. Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah. You said 57. There we go. 10% contingency. Say moderate. It's probably not a full rehab. So there we go. So it'll change a little bit. So hard money does the numbers. We're looking at end buyer's profit growth. It's really high, like a juicy deal, right? 134 if we can get that. But that's wholesale, based on the wholesale numbers, and we're going to mess with them a little bit. 134,857, 14.2% profit margin, which is good. And then we're looking at assignment fee of 77,000, based off of these numbers at 588, selling it off to another investor at 665. Transactional net profit 77. There's two down here. If you notice, is going to be assignment fee for the simplest, or double close would be 75.15 because you got to pay for those fees. And then it'll pop down here that hey, we're looking at a 286 seller discount, right? An average of 31 to 60 days, which is good, moderate. So that's the wholesale thing. So wholesale looks good. Of course, we'd have to negotiate that. Even if we do, there's still some money to work with, right? So we can go lower on those numbers if we need to.
Right.
And now I'm going to go ahead and bring up the novation. Or not novation. We're talking. Yeah, you said novation, right? No, you said seller finance. Okay, let's bring in seller finance. Yeah. So let's do seller finance. That one up. I'm going to share that tab. We'll rock the numbers. We may have to put some numbers here, but after we got the after repair value, we're at 950. We'll look at asking price. We put Russ. Asking the seller's asking price was 874. 874. That's like without an agent. Estimated repairs 57. Looking at low down, zero down, interest only balloon. So it just depends on what we're negotiating at the end of the day. So cash purchase price for us, right? Offered to the seller, which can be a little higher because we're doing seller finance, obviously, but we'll go with the 665, 123. It's a little higher. Down payment. That means you have to come up with a down payment, right? Yeah. So a down payment, let's say do 10% of purchase price 665. We're actually at 668. If we go on wholesale is lower, that's 588. I think we're doing 608. 665,000 is a little higher. The seller finance 10%. That's gonna be about what 65K probably, right? Let me see, what do we got? At 665,000 down payment.
66,000.
Yeah, 66,000. 66.5. Let's see if I put that in. Push that in here. Interest rate.
66,500.
Looking at amortized for 30 years. Market rent. Do you know what the market rate is on that thing? By any chance?
New. Let me see. Market rent. 33. Average 33 to 4,000. So maybe like 3,500.
35, you think?
Yeah.
I know it's a good area, so that's probably about right. We're not going to mess with the taxes, but you can find those on like pulling a title report or a prelim, all the tax and vacancy and all that gets our vacancy reserve. We'll leave it 5%. Maintenance reserve 5%. HOA. Is there any HOAs on this? Do you know?
No.
Okay, no HOA. So it's 0.
No HOA.
Exit strategy would be a 3-year exit strategy. Annual appreciation 3. Exit cost are is at 8%. So when we do all that, obviously we're looking at negative rent based on what the mortgage payment may be. So it says monthly payment to the seller, right? Because we're working with giving them equity over time. At 5.5%, it's actually 32, unless we go lower in price. Now, if we change this price to what is it? Trying to get it down to the wholesale type stuff, which was what, 588, I think. So as you can see, the numbers here, monthly cash flow is negative. We don't want that. Effective rent, total monthly expenses, and DSCR is really low. So you couldn't get a refi on it. So we have to go lower on the actual. See, it says workable, tighten the terms, right? So we need, and it tells you right here with the C score, the C score of the score, AHA seller finance deal scorecard. So keep that in mind. It says workable, renegotiate price and rate. So rate, I think, is not too bad. We can probably even go with zero rate or whatever their interest rate is. I'm not sure what the interest rate is, about 5.5, but it's adjustable. That's what sucks, because if things change, then that interest rate can change. We're looking at equity at purchase, $285,000. Projected value at exit is about a little over $1 million. Loan balance at exit's $572,000. It's going to be $83,000 to sell, but total profit at exit in the next 3 years, right, is $392,645. So that's a good thing as far as equity goes. Cash flows, it's actually negative 22. We don't want that, right? So the down is 65. So we're going to adjust this price point. Let's adjust it to let's go 588. 1, 2, 3. 588,000. And we're looking at, even then, the payment's a little bit lower, right? And then we got monthly cash flow is still 201. Looking at 362, but we're looking at a fatter check down the road, right? But it's still cash flow is down about 72. We don't want that, or nobody really wants that at the end of the day. So it's going to be maybe interest rate. So if we mess with the interest rate, this is 5.5. Maybe we do 3. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? Or we just ask for none, right? Hey, and that's only if we're going to do a wrap, right? If we're going to do a wrap, then we're going to actually want to go and do like a 6.5%, sell it to another investor or another homeowner at the end of the day. But for us, if we're not going to be doing a wrap, then we try to get in with whatever interest rate's already there. So at least we got some monthly cash flow there. So the monthly is going to go, you're going to split it up, half to them, half to monthly cash flow to us or whoever. DSCR went up a little better, so that's good. So you can actually get a refi off of the equity if needed. Cash on cash, 18% return, so that's cool. And then we're looking at probably, a juicier piece of the pie down here at 362, 466,000 next 3 years. And we're looking at cash flow at about 47,200. So that's what we want, right? Yes, there's a $65,000, $66,500 down payment. On this one, we'll obviously pursue strong seller finance deal based on those numbers, which is really low, but depends on how motivated the guy is, right? And we'll find that out. Now we're going to do shits and giggles for this one on I believe we have the Subto. Do we have Subto, or do we have, what else we got? Innovation. Oh, we'll do Innovation because I know you're asking about it, which I'm going to share with you and how we all do that stuff. Let's see if it even pops out. Let's see if we can make it work. And we'll go with 30 days, 31 days on the market. That's what I saw. After repair value, 900. Oh, I got to share this, right? Let me know if you can see the screen. Okay, 950,000. So equity-wise, with seller finance looks good, but we got to get it at a better price, right? 588,000. No interest. Just take over kind of with whatever interest rate's already there, or go with zero interest, and we're kind of splitting the 3,000 buckaroos at the end of the day. And it looks like it would work, but the numbers got to be. And at the same token, if you're going to do seller finance, right, with a seller wrap, you can do what's called like a sweat and sweet equity. We can take it over and let somebody else do all that. Cleanup is going to be cleanup. We have to spend a couple of bucks cleaning it up, right? And then coming up with some money for a down payment, and then taking it over and getting the seller paid over a period of time. But with if that makes sense for the seller finance. Any questions on that?
No, not right now.
All right. Let me see if we got that up. So I'll pull up Novation. If you can see that. Probably even the Subto. We go Subto, and because they're in pre-foreclosure, so we can make up the back payments, take over the property, put it back on the market, resell it, hot market, so it's going to sell, and it's a lower price point as far as the square footage on like a first-time home buyer type thing. So it could be a conventional or FHA if we get it up to that par, and the repairs aren't too bad, right? And we could go with a decent number because we're just going to be able to take over and make his problems go away, get him a chunk of cash, and then pay him out when we sell it. Is what I'm smelling with Subto. But we'll go with this Novation as well. Plan. And now on the seller finance, were you thinking because maybe you would want to take it down, or what provoked you to say, hey, seller finance?
Mostly because of the equity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and you can, just still sell it to another investor as a seller finance deal.
So, yeah, to wrap it and arbitrage the interest rate depending on what the rate is. Well, I think the rate was adjustable, so that's for me. I wouldn't want an adjustable rate because at the end of the day, the rates can change. And they do change based on. We'd have to look at his loan paperwork and take a look at what happened. Maybe there's a loan mod. For all we know, there might be one of those ghost loans that comes back later and said, hey, here, you got a $72,000 loan and it's been 15 years. Guess what? We're going to foreclose, which might have happened with this. But I think a private lender in 2018 came into the play, or I'm not sure what the date was, but there's that person we're going to have to get out. Like $207,000 now is what that they actually want. So the Subto probably wouldn't be a good thing unless you're going to pay that guy off. But let's go with this right here. $950,000 planned MLS list. Yeah, what if we're as is 950 is retail. I think we looked at what as is was what 874 or less, or what do you think? Like we're gonna take this up. Maybe there's some move the cars. We maybe get a trash bin. Maybe spend a couple $1,000 buckaroos, right, or so. And clean up the pad. We don't even know the inside. For all we know, it could be a hoarder pad, and who knows what's inside, right?
Right.
But even then, just the minimal cleanup, of a couple of $1,000, right? And then cleaning it up. What do you think a good MLS price would be?
I'd say mid-7s.
And this is to move it fast. We want to get rid of it in 30 days.
So I think I saw one at 7 something. Let me check really quick.
Cool. All right. Looks good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Property condition is going to be fair. Cosmetic work required. Highly motivated. Yes. You got one?
Yeah. So I got 775.
All right. 775.
Actually, no. 770.
Okay. 770. We'll be back.
Yeah.
5K is 5K, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go fair. Say fair cosmetic or poor. Major repairs needed. We'll assume cosmetic. We don't know if it needs any of the major. If it needs major work, then it's going to be double. Like the mechanicals, we don't know yet. We'll find out. All right. So, and we got the deal score just come across the top up here right now. It says risky pivot strategy. So I think you're right on point there. So let's go deal financial. Seller's guaranteed walkaway number. Now, obviously, we know he owes about $254,000 on the property. Let's just call it maybe 265, 270, just to make sure. 70K has to be paid off, or should say, with that amount. And then equity-wise, right, from the 770. And that's what we're usually doing is you're going with Novation of 80, 85, 90 cents on the dollar. So once we punch in these numbers, right? So we don't have an equity guaranteed walkaway number yet. The mortgage payoff on this is we'll call it 270. Closing costs, prep, $2,500, like I said, for a bin and some cleanup and some labor. We got commission structure for a seller and then listing agent, 2%, 2.5. That's all negotiable. And we'll go back up to the scorecards, looking a little bit better, good, but move fast. MLS list. Now we got to pop in. What does this guy want, right? What exactly is the seller's guaranteed walk away? So if we're going 770,000 times 90%, we're looking at what? 693. 693, but it needs a lot of work and all this other good stuff. So we can let's just go with 770. Even though we know that we're not going to be able to sell it at 950 unless you actually do some work to it and put in the work. So 770 times 85%, right about 654. So 654. And this is like last on a totem pole. Like I always said, right? It's cash 1, cash 2, cash 3, right? Highest and best cash offer, like we said, was what, $588,000 or something like that. And if we do that, then that's the number he's going to get, minus the 270, and that's his equity. And then obviously we go to some terms, right? If we're going to move towards sub 2 or seller finance, then we're getting higher, right? Some cash now, some cash later, or we're going to make put some money down, take it over, and then get you a cash over a period of time, and then sell it off to another investor who wants to take it down as wrap. And then last but not least, right, moving forward, there is one in there that we use through the Amplified method is an option, right? So an option is going to be, hey, we already know your bottom line number. Cool. We will make a couple of bucks, willing to take some pictures and a few other things. And if we bring a buyer to the table because we know what you want, and maybe the seller's just delusional and they're not like, hey, really understanding where the numbers are at as far as the agent and the cost and everything else. Maybe they're emotionally attached to the thing. But if they're not, they're like, cool, just give me my money. I know what I need. And then we go from there. Then an option, just a one-page option contract with the date on it, usually 15, 20, 30 days. And we'll lock that in. It's super easy, right? And we can lock that in. But if that doesn't work, then yeah, we can, there's obviously the novation part, which we haven't talked about options. We'll talk about that later. But let's call this one for the novation. Let's call it 654.5. So I'm going to go, let's say this is his VIP equity guarantee number. I like to call it the VIP number. So we'll go 654,500. See what the numbers say when we go back. So it's saying load up, do the deal. 97, it's A plus, right? So let's see. Seller's guaranteed net 654.5. Okay, that's the net that we're going to give them. And what we're explaining to us, like we did with Mr. Irvine, is saying, look, he couldn't quite understand. First, he said, remember the cash offer is what it is. Why it's so low? Because it's cash. Hey, we'll get you cash in 14 to 21 days. Boom. Be gone, right? Rock and roll. Move on with your life. But sub 2 wasn't going to work. But even for this one, possibly not because of the private lender. And we don't want that ugly loan. We don't want an adjustable loan. And unless something has changed, we won't know until we see the mortgage statement. But then seller finance looks juicy as well. And now novation is on, hey, you know what? Can we list this ugly house and move it for them? Possibly, if we do a little bit of cleanup and seeing what's going on. Mortgage payoff 270. Closing cost 33. Prep costs are probably going to be more than that, but hey, it's not that big of a house, right? Maybe we spend $600, $700, $800 for a bend. Maybe we do a little bit of labor, pay for some labor to clean it up, clean the front yard, backyard a little bit, right? So if we can be in our budget of $2,500, and then go ahead and do a buyer's agent, right, at $1,950, a listing agent going to be $1,540, and we're looking at a novation fee or profit of $45,350, right? So list. Thanks, appreciate it. So novation fee, right? How does that look? Look better than the wholesale fee, right?
Yeah.
And if we can list it, it's about 81.1% versus ARV, seller equity, gross spread, total costs. So if we look at it here, we're going to go with this down right here. We'll go with AHA deal scorecard, right? Novation fee, strong novation fee. Yes, load it up, says rock and roll, do it. List 81% of ARV, that's pretty good. The one in Irvine was like 97. It was pretty damn tight. But we know it's a super awesome market. We know that thing's going to sell, and it probably doesn't need a lot of work, but we got to go and inspect it as well. So equity cushion, 76. Seller has equity, strong deal foundation. 31 days on the market is really good, right? Active market. Now, the condition sucks, right? So preps they could eat up some of this margin, right? Because once we promise what we promise, this kit right here could start deteriorating, right? Depending on what we got to do to it to get it sold. So, but at least there's a little bit extra more than the wholesale, right? We got about 25K extra, right? Plus than if we were to wholesale it. Because wholesale, we put on there 20. Even if we change it to 25, we could probably push that and being able to be able to make that work. High motivation, seller cooperates on access and marketing. So the strategy is to lock it up today, sign a guaranteed equity addendum, get seller access and authorization. Obviously, call VIPeXecs to list it in 48 hours. And then the 43, 45, 350 fee is there, right? So don't leave it on the table. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Any questions on that?
No, just learning to understand the numbers a little bit better now.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do that on a personal basis because I'm going to go over this one with you. And we drop we'll drop some offers and some LOIs their way. And what's cool about this little calculator at the end of the day, right? You can print it and you can actually download it and whatever you need to do so you have it in your hand. I know I like to have stuff in my hand and it'll pop it out for you and go from there. But let's go ahead and get back to the Domination Live webinar. Let me go ahead and pull up that where we at here. Oh, you know what? We could do this. This is 4 methods, right? So hang tight real quick. I'll pull this up real quick just for shizzles and bizzles. Like I was saying before, I believe it's right here. Is it right here? No. Where is it at? Is it over here? Share this stuff. So we'll go ahead and do this one. Let's do sub 2 and pop in sub 2. See what we and go from there, and then we'll finish stuff up here. So we're at 400,000, right? After a repair value 950. Current market rent, you said 3,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mortgage balance, that was I think we're at 270 approximately, right?
Yeah, 270.
Just with the fees, we're anticipating the back payments and all that good stuff because it's going to be because the actual existing mortgage payments mortgage was what 254. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let me change that because it's a little bit different for sub 2. Usually we like to make the offers. I know we do. Everybody does it a little bit different, maybe. But I like to go with what exactly is on the mortgage. So if it's 254, is what they owe. That's our offer to them. And then we put what we're going to give them in the addendum. All right, along with the sub 2 verbiage and all the sub 2 stuff that we're going to be doing to the property. So sub 2 interest rate was, he said about 4, right? It said 4 point something.
Yeah, 4.19.
4 point what?
19, I think.
Okay, 19. Got it. And then we assumed it's going to be a high mortgage, but I think it came out to 12, 13, 14. But we'll go with the 1,900 just for training purposes here. Purchase price. We're at purchase price is what 665, 608, or which one was it? Let me look back here. Oh, 654.5 for the Novation. We're at 654.5. That was the seller's number. Wholesale was 588. So 588, 608. Let's go 608 is what I have down over here. The purchase price. No, we don't want the purchase price of that. Yeah, well, we could. Because this is something where we're going to have to take it down, reinstate, fix it up, put it back on the market, or even sell it to another investor, right? Maybe they have the cash. Because a lot of investors, if they're going hard money, they got $200,000-300,000 to work with to try to do 1 or 2 properties a month through hard money. And those are the buyers we want. But we'll go ahead and do this. Cash to seller at closing. Now, we didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
So cash to seller at closing, right? So obviously we're looking at the equity that's involved. So we got let's call it 270 because we're going to have to make up to the back payments and all that good stuff. 270 seller cash. And then the arrears, I think we're at least that one we know. We're at 12,000 for the arrears. 1, 2, 3. And then usually, we want to try to be reasonable, and give some cash now, some cash later. Unless it really makes sense and we're able to, which is going to be a little difficult because we got this crazy, or not crazy, but, there's somebody as a private lender on there. And usually they just want to get their money back, right? They don't want to foreclose. They don't want all the headaches. They're like, man, let's just work something out. We've had other investors where they, be like maybe $5,000-6,000 in late fees and all kinds of other stuff. And then, hey, we'll take all that out, and hey, we'll even give a discount here and there, just because we want all the investors to pay back, right? We don't want the headaches, and they don't want to fix it up. They don't want the property back. They just want their money. Is usually what at the end of the day, that's what that's all about. Well, let's go ahead and cash the seller at closing. Let's say we're at let's just call this purchase price on your offer right 608. And even then 588 smells better to me, because I don't mind going, even if it's on sub 2. I wouldn't mind going 588 on that at the end of the day. And I think that's what we'd probably do with that. I'm going to go 588. And then we're going to go 588 and equity from 588 and 270. You with me?
Yeah.
70. Looking at what, 318,000, something like that?
360,000.
300 how much?
360,000?
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. 65, I think.
Oh, from 588 and 270, right? 360. That's a big chunk of cash, right?
Yeah.
And you got to remember, at the end of the day, and unless he makes it up, then he'll lose the property. But it's not a lot to make up. If it was like 50, we've seen some with 50, 60, seen $150,000 in back payments. That's kind of crazy, right? So that doesn't leave too much room to give them. But let's say there's cash or salary. Say he's going to work with us. Hey, we're going to spend our money. We pitch it to him, and hey, we're spending our cash. The reason we're going to go this route is because we don't have to go get a new loan, hard money, all this good stuff, and it'll probably kill the deal. It won't kill the deal. It just means it's being flexible with us. We're going to try to get you as much money as possible. And at the end of the day, right now it says 2% margin. It says weak deal, right? Boom, don't do it. 995,000. Yeah, 950K. And now it says strong deal, but 84 profit margin. I don't think that's real, so that's not going to happen. The existing mortgage balance, we're looking at 58. Even if we did, I would, I've done it before. We've cut a check for 60, 70, $100,000 to the seller because it was a bang up juicy deal. And they just want it out. Say, man, just get us out. City's on our butt. They keep bugging us. There's like trash all the way up to half. Every room has like halfway filled with trash, right? And the city's going to come and condemn the property. We had that happen before. So we just don't know at the end of the day. So let's just call it. You said how much in equity again? I'm sorry.
650.
No, so okay, so we're gonna offer him 588, right? So if we offer 588, and then his notes 270, we're gonna go ahead and make we'll go with
Set 310.
310. So
Yeah.
let's just call it 310, and we're just don't call me on it. At the end of the day, right? We're just popping in numbers. That's why it's very important when you're doing this stuff. Take your time. Get the numbers, redo the numbers 2 or 3 times, right? Send it to Rodrigo, send it to me. We'll look at them again. We're always going to find some little errors here and there, right? So, the devil's in the details. So there's probably going to be some errors here and this and that, but this is just for the training, okay? So you understand what's happening here. So 588,000. So let's say there's 310,000. Let's say we're being generous and say, you know what, we're going to give you, I don't know. Let me see what comes out of your mind. I got a number in mind, but what would you give this guy if he was willing to rock and roll? We can buy this for $588,000. It's worth $950. The mortgage payment's going to be about a couple $1,000, which is maintainable, right? And we're like, this guy's ready to go. He's going to leave. Maybe he's going out of the country. Who knows, right? We're going to make up the back payments, closing costs, and all that good stuff. What would you offer, or what would you think would be fair to give this guy right now? And then we're going to put in all the money to fix it up, put it back on the market, or yes, maybe sell it to whatever we do. We're selling the same deal to another investor, right? So if we make it sweet, because I always say, right, if we wouldn't buy it, how are you going to sell it to somebody else, right? But if it looks sweet to us and we decided to do it and we go, yeah, hey, it's bang up. But at the same token, we're going to make a friend, sell it to an investor. Here's what we got. Because that whatever we negotiate, the end buyer is going to have to take care of, right?
Right.
So what number would you want to give that seller? What do you think would be fair to give him right now? And of course, there's more to it with the Amplified method, right? Like we talked about. What are the situations? What does he need? Does he have credit cards? Does he need this? Does he need that? And that's how we negotiate a lot of the equity in exchange for what we do. But what would you think would be fair?
I was thinking somewhere in the lines of 525, 550.
For a purchase price?
Yeah, for purchase price.
Okay, so 550,000. Okay, there we go. So we'll change that. We'll go to 550. Now, how much equity we got left in there?
So if it was 550, yeah, 280.
280.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, usually with this stuff, we want to give some cash now, some cash later. So we give him some cash now, and then we go ahead and fix it up. And he leverages our money, leverages us, leverages the investors, whoever we sell it to at the end of the day. And then we cash him out when we sell it. How much money would you want to give this fellow American right now?
I think this person lives in the property, so I'd say relocation and whatnot, maybe like I don't know, like 50,000, or
Okay. Yeah, I was at 50K. So let's go with yours. I like your number better. So let's go with 40. And you got to remember, we're doing sub 2. We don't cut any checks until the house is broom swept clean and he's out of the property and all his stuff is out. And we do tell him, hey, you can leave your stuff, sign this waiver, and we're going to donate whatever's left over to charity if it's salvageable. Otherwise, it's going in that giant bin in the front yard. Trash. And we have them sign off on it for liability issues, so they can't say, hey, I still got the stuff there. I own the property, blah, 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 right? There's some legalities we want to clear up. And he doesn't get that 40K right now until he actually leaves the house and broom swept clean. Or at least, like I said, take care of some of the stuff. If it's crazy and they got cars to move, and like we've had people with tractors and all kinds of stuff left on their yard, they're like, man, you got to take care of some of that stuff, right? And then we'll take care of the rest. Because we take care of all of it, it's going to cost $4 or $5 grand to move it all. So, but this is, with this, something like this, he would have, now I know he wants to stay for 90 days, right? So if you want to stay for 90 days, you can stay. There's a way we can use towards the area rent, right? Which is, even though it's a $2,000 mortgage, we're looking at $3,500, right? That's what we're going to basically charge is market rent, regardless of, yes, it needs to be cleaned up and things of that nature. What does a nice rental look like? We're going to figure out a number that we're going to charge him every month that he's there, right? And sometimes when we put that on the paper, we're like, hey, okay, it is 35. So we got 35, right? Even if it's 3,000, that's $6 grand. That's $6,000 less that you're going to get out of your 280 because, it's not free, right?
Right.
And plus we're going to take care of the 12,000. We're going to go ahead and spend some money to clean this thing up. And obviously that's going to be another 56,000, which does no relevant to him. But at the end of the day, 280 minus the 6,000. In other words, the longer he stays, the less money he gets, right? So that kind of motivates people sometimes. Oh, I can get out earlier. I can leave in 30 days. Heck, you give me 40,000, I can leave in 2 weeks. I already got all my stuff packed up. We don't know that, right? But that's usually how it works out. Just FYI. So we'll go with 40K. 12,000 careers.
Yeah, 40,000. I mean 40. I have 40,000.
40, okay.
40.
So then we're gonna owe them out of the, what do we got? 280,000.
Yeah, 280.
All right, so 280. So we're gonna be at 240. We're gonna owe them 240 when we sell it. Okay. There we go. Rehab cost was 57, right?
Yeah.
So the numbers are going to change. So let's see what it comes back at. 57K, 10% contingency, 2-month rehab, which usually you can get it done in 30 days or less, right? Depends if it's cosmetic. And if it is older home, so stuff can happen, right? I'm not a fan of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s houses, even the 80s. Heck, the 90s are kind of, whatever. Anything built in 2000 or above, love it. Carpet, cosmetic all the way, right? Good bones. You put in the tile, some carpet if you're going to do that. Nice kitchen, spruce it all up, and it's in and out very quickly. Probably get it done in 2-3 weeks, right? Less. Something older property like this, you don't know what's going to happen if you open up a wall, right?
Yeah.
You start changing stuff. You pull up the floors and you're going, oh my God, what the hell is this, right? So that $40 cost, I agree with. That's cool because it is an older property with $30, $35, $40 is fine. If there is mechanicals, then this can obviously change this whole deal, right? Because now we're at 76. It's still a good deal. But from the 57 could change into 100 to maybe 125,000 if we got air conditioning, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, foundation, maybe, I don't know, roof, right? It's going to add up. So let's go ahead and hard money rate. Now, if we pop in hard, we don't have to mess with any of this unless we're going to do that, but we're not. additional loan amount. That's going to be usually what I like to do with this number, Rodrigo, is put in like for use private money. How much money do we need? I'm going to put 0 on that right now. But if we add this up, which I'm going to share with you privately on our seat when we do our training, but it'll be like, hey, what do we actually need for this deal to happen? It's going to tell us how much money we need, right? To a degree, how much money we're going to need to give him some money, holding costs for 6 months. We always want to put the ugliest numbers on the table, right? About 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And then then anything before that, if we get it done in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, boom, that's all gravy coming home. Now, property taxes, we can adjust this. We're not going to do that right now. That's usually going to be on your title profile. What exactly are the taxes monthly? You take it from the yearly, break it up into a monthly fee. Insurance is usually high. Utilities about $150 a month. That's just to keep the lights on, right? So we can fix it up and get it sold. There's no HOA, no property management. Agent commission about 5% when we get ready to sell this thing. Seller concessions 1%. It might be 2%. But let's put 2%. Go ahead. What was that? Rodrigo, did you say something?
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Okay. So 5% on commission. We'll put seller concessions. Maybe it could be 2 or 3% because the pad's jacked up, right?
Yeah.
So staging and marketing, we won't spend that much money. Maybe we'll do $1,500 unless you're going to put it into the cleaning and all the other good stuff, right? But we don't even need staging and marketing. Let's just call it marketing, right? So let's say for the first week, we try to market, get it sold without an agent. If we have to get it sold, then awesome. We listed it with an agent, right? Makes sense like the VIPeXecs. So seller closing costs, it is what it is. We'll put 30. This was 31 days. All right, 1 day. Let's go ahead and do it. Comp spread is a little wide, but we'll leave it at 50K. So we're looking at excellent deal, right? That's a scorecard. So we'll look at Subto financing advantage. If you're really into those type of numbers, right? Because it's going to assume balance, mortgage balance, assume. That's not mortgage balance. Oops, that's going to be wrong. So we got to add another 0, messed up there. See, it's got to fix stuff, right? 2% margin, so it's 254, 4.2 interest rate. It's a little bit lower. Oh, thanks, appreciate it. Rate data savings, 2.3% on the rate, right? So it kind of tells you where you can arbitrage a little bit if you needed to and make that gravy right there, 2.3%. Monthly interest savings, $489. Annual interest rate savings is going to be $5,868. Something you can do with that, right? Total cost summary. So rehab contingency with about $62,000. We're not doing any hard money with this one unless we needed to, or sell, or if another investor, we can plug in those numbers. If an investor goes, I need to buy this with hard money. Okay, if you absolutely have to, let's put those numbers in. Okay, so we're going to go monthly holding costs, total holding costs about 5K because we got 2 months in there. If we put 6 months, which we put the ugly numbers in, obviously this is going to go up, right? We're at 16K now. So that means money we got to have for 6 months, right? And probably then some. So the maximum allowable purchase, we got 950. Agent concession and plus concessions, right? About 66K. And we keep moving forward. Net proceeds, maximum allowable offer at 70 should be about 510. We're offering what,
550.
65. Maximum allowable for sub 2 is 513. So we're obviously over, right? So our purchase price is 550. We're over the maximum allowable offer, but it's okay because we don't live by the standards of the 70% rule, right? Especially when we're doing sub 2 or seller finance or any of the innovation stuff. Total cash required. Obviously, it's a chunk of cash, right? That's some buckaroos, right? We got to come up with the selling cost. But some of this stuff you don't have to have right now, right? What do we need right now? 40K?
Yeah.
12K? Closing costs on the buy side, yes. Rehab with contingencies, yes. Holding costs, yes. Selling costs, not really. There's going to be maybe the numbers would be like some of the marketing stuff. We want to have enough for that, right? Obviously, the commission we're not to worry about. The closing costs and escrow we have to worry about, right? So this would come down a little bit, and that's the stuff I'm going to share with you when we're having some more training, because we're basically just looking at what is it going to these numbers over here, like selling costs, right? Staging and marketing. Let's get ready to sell it, which could go up. This might change because if we do an action, if we fix it up. And we're looking at retail, right? Then we're going to want to probably spend $2,500 to $3,500, right? So I'm going to correct myself here and go from there. And then we'll look at profit analysis, right? Now this is for about now. Does this really look real? $487,000. They'd be like, who's going to sell their property like that? Who's going to give you the property, right? Because we're at 51%. So looking at 486,000 after spending all this money here. And then remember, we still got to do what? We still got to give them how much? 240K, right?
Yeah, 240.
240, right? So do me a favor, gross profit 487 minus 240.
Uh, 247.
All right, so 247,000 is our profit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk with Sweden, maybe Jacob. Say, hey, because I think I like that part, right? Because when we're doing some cash now, some cash later, if we put all the cash in there, then it'll pop out here, right? We're just gonna say, hey, how much are we gonna give the guy? Where's it at? Up here, right? Seller, cash to seller, we got 40K. What if we actually it'll put our number in there, right? But when we're doing this, I'm going some cash now, we'll pay you the rest later. So you manually got to figure it out and go, hey, we're gonna make 247K. That's a juicy check if we can get that done. So people going, oh, how are you going to get that done? Why is he going to give the house away? You don't know until you know. Trust me. One of our fattest checks, or one of my fattest checks, was about that much, 247,000 on one deal, only because he's super motivated and he wanted to get rid of the house. It was the one I was telling you about, which was the house that was going to get condemned.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to get his son out and wanted to buy him a mobile home. And that was going to be 70, 80,000, 100,000 bucks. So we cut him a check. He goes, I'll wait till you guys fix it up and I'll get my money later. I'm cool with that. I just need to take care of my son. So purchase price, let's say we put in there 280? Let's put 280 and see what pops out. We're going to cut him a check. That's 28. One more zero. Get these glasses going. So where are we at now? So there's the number, right? And at the end of the day, would you rather do the deal? And do you think you can find the money to do that deal? Or would you rather sell it off to an investor?
In between.
In between, huh? Shit, I jump on that shit all day long. I take the risk. I say, yeah, I'll take that sumbitch on. That's $250,000.
Yeah.
If you can get it done in 3 months, awesome. Get it done in 6 months, it's still cool, right? It's like I always say, look, if you buy the property right, if you have to dump it, Rodrigo, you're still gonna make money. Even if we got to dump the son of a bitch, we're gonna make money. If we fix it and flip it, we're looking at that. If we buy and hold it, obviously, ultimately, you're gonna make the most money, right?
Yep.
That's it, man. So I'm surprised to hear that from you. So I think you're just maybe a little afraid or maybe scared. You're going, oh, I'm not sure. Hey, and I know we're going live here, so I don't want to put you on the spot at the end of the day. But I was waiting. I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I was doing the I was doing the Andrew Carnegie thing on you, man. See what he says. So it took a little longer than I thought because I know, hey, I would have said, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's go find the money. How are we going to find the money? That's the beauty about working with us as well, right? We'll help you. We're gonna go dig for that money, right? We're gonna make that money. We'll either put in the money, but we got to partner up, right? Because if we either buy the deal from you, or say, Rodrigo, shit, if you don't want to do it, we'll buy the deal. But if you want to learn and work and learn how to do a fix and flip, you can ride and still get paid a wholesale fee, right? Which would have been, hey, I want 20 grand. And that's the thing. If you want 20 grand, no problem. If the open market's going to get us 20 grand, then we would pay you half of that, right? Because it's 50-50 or 70-30, whatever our splits are, 60-40, right? Then that would be, hey, we're going to pay you that amount. We're going to get you your wholesale fee minus what our fee is, right? And if you have the time, we're going to rock and roll and fix it and flip it together so you can learn how to do that, right? So then you can rinse and repeat it. If for whatever reason you would tell us, hey, I want the deal, but I've never done a fix and flip, but can you still help me? Then we would cash us out and then we would work the deal, or we JV it and go, look, no problem. You either have some money or don't have some money. What are your skill sets? What are we going to do? Where can we get the cash to make this happen, right? Because we're going to need some buckaroos to make it happen, right? Obviously, because out here it says all cash in. Now, obviously, I don't blame you because this is like, hey, who wants to pay this guy $280,000? I like this better. Pay him 40 grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go out and get the 62,000 rehab. Let's get the holding cost, 16 grand. Let's change it real quick, right? And let's go agent fees and concessions. Who cares? We got to worry about that. Staging and selling, maybe, we're going to need some of that because if we could sell it without an agent, then we're going to bring this home right here, right? do a 66K home. If we don't, at least we can, hey, the provisions are in there. That makes sense?
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
And we're going to need some buckaroos to reinstate, right? Need some closing cost dollars. So we're not going to need the whole 208, but we're going to need to find this number, this number, this number, this number, and this number, right? Selling cost, we don't got to worry too much because we just want to take care of what? Maybe a home warranty. Even then, it'll come out of proceeds with that. We could do the staging costs, right? We're going to need some money to market it. And then if we do a fix and flip, we always pay ourselves, right? $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
To say, hey, we're managing and getting this thing done, right? So you put that in there. Investors know that's going to happen. That's part of your paycheck, part of your pay for making it happen, right? And and then this might be a little bit less. So then maybe we got to go out and get $100,000. Now, are there people who do you know people who have 50, 60, 70,000 bucks in the IRA, 1K bank account?
Yeah, 40, 50K.
So there we go. So then you go to the private bank and you go and you leverage that out along with what I'll help you, help you. That's part of the program. I'll help you build your private bank, and then leveraging us as we go in and have some credibility to say, yeah, what are they securing? They're going to the money that they invest is secured. It's called a friendship deal, right? Mm-hmm. So they write a check, we secure it to the piece of real estate, we rock and roll, we fix it up, put it back on the market, and cut them a check back. And then now you got somebody with credibility that said, man, that was cool. I like that. And then roll their money 2 or 3 times a year, right? Now you build 4 or 5 of those people. Now you're able to do fix and flips or buy and holds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll leave it at that. If anybody watching this, you want to be able to close deals like this. Now, obviously, this is just a different type of deal, and we're assuming this stuff. But at the end of the day, it is doable and possible, where you can actually get and jump aboard the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, where we're actually going to teach you Subto, wholesaling, lease options, and more, obviously. And obviously, you're learning that. So when you came aboard, was it 2-3 weeks ago or something like 3-4 weeks ago, something like that, right? Obviously, I think you mentioned too, said, hey, this is like you hit your record, right, as far as writing offers and LOIs in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of that's what I was talking to you about it today. I was like, it feels exciting because at some point in time, it's like I was getting stuck about running numbers and actually sending out the offers. And now it's like you feel like we're putting out more 2-3 a week. So that's exciting.
Exactly right, and sooner or later it's going to pop. So once we get these and lock them in, then it's a matter of going to the next phase, right? Which is, hey, let's get the marketing together, let's get the buyers together, let's start open escrow and do everything else that needs to happen to the property to get it sold, which is fun too, right? Because you're going to get the pictures and the video and all that good stuff put on the market, and then start selling it to investors, and then moving forward to get the working the close of escrow, which is always an exciting part. Some people forget about that, like we talked about, I think, right? Some people, hey, I got a contract, awesome, celebrate, and then they drop off. So what are you doing? Our job's not done. Right?
Yeah.
We got a bag of gold here. We can't take that to the bank.
You got to take it to the closing table.
Exactly. Take it to the closing table so we can get those mean greens in our bank accounts, right? And even the seller and the investor, so everybody get paid. Like I said, it's always a win-win situation. Seller's number one. Always take care of seller, no matter what. Even if you fudge the numbers or mess up the numbers, but let's knock on wood. We don't do that stuff. It can happen though, right? 1 something you miss can cost $5,000 or $10,000. And I suggest if you have to eat it, then you eat it, right? If the seller, something happened with the seller, something didn't get disclosed, and we make sure we cover our butts in the addendum, then hey, cool. We can either split it, or we can have them say, no, you got to take care of those costs as agreed, right? Or we can be nice and just eat it since we're making a bunch of money anyways. And those things are options, right? And then we go ahead and we do that. So, if we get into the closing table, it's super important and disclosure. So let's see, we'll go ahead but I'll go ahead and throw this out. Any questions on any of that stuff? I know there's a lot being digested and a lot that we downloaded, but it's true value, I hope.
Yes, indeed. No questions on my end. Everything is all exciting. And, as I said before, the more I do it, the better I understand it.
Right. So definitely, I'm excited about that one. And then Irvine's going to be tomorrow, right? So
Yeah.
maybe, I know what time. What time do you usually shut down?
Usually around this time, but
Oh, okay, that's cool.
yeah. So
Mark Wahlberg, man, I'll start calling you Mark Wahlberg, bro. I think doesn't he go to bed like at 5 or 6 o'clock or some shit? 7 o'clock, you said?
I think so. No, but I had a long day today. I woke up at
Yeah.
5, and my
Woo!
day started at 5 a.m. So
Yeah, I love it. That's cool.
yeah.
All right, so then what we'll do is we'll wrap this up. If you got to get some sleep, I'm cool. I get it, man. Anything you want to share, anything you want to drop before we close out, then I'm going to stay on maybe a little bit longer and finish up here, because obviously we got the Amplify Real Estate program and the mentoring program. Going to drop some cool stuff, like I mentioned, I wanted to do, and to share it with others, and then we'll wrap it all up. We'll be back for Thursday Deals Day. Tomorrow it's usually about 2 p.m. and then throughout, if we have to get our butts out there, either to Irvine. I know you got stuff to do, because I think you're available on Friday, right?
I'm actually available starting tomorrow already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning we can dissect more deals. I'll send them over to you tomorrow. And just let me know what time.
Yeah.
I'm staying home, but yeah, I'll be in and out of the computer. But yeah, I want to work those deals out tomorrow so we can start sending more LOIs.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so we'll get that. We'll work on that tomorrow. Just let me know. You're an early morning riser, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we probably knocked out early in the morning. I know I got a schedule. My day starts at 7, so I know I got an appointment at 7, 10. But in between there, even if we got to go a little bit earlier or whatever, we could, or a little bit later. But let's definitely hammer out Irvine, hammer out this one, and we got still a pipeline that we still got to work. I know that I want to share some stuff with you, and I know you got some stuff to share with me. So we'll definitely tap into that tomorrow for sure. Now your schedule, I'll talk about their schedule in a little bit. I might bug you a little bit before you go to bed, so we can kind of get on the same pain point, or not pain point, but same page, as far as in case we have to go out and visit, which I got a good feeling we might have to. Well, I forgot, it's 5th of July Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
Woo! All right. So that would be, it'd have to be tomorrow or Friday. Or even then Sunday, maybe, if we really have to, or if you can make it, great. If not, then we'll go or maybe push it to Monday.
I think
depends on how motivated the seller is.
Yeah, I think tomorrow and Friday will be the biggest things.
Let's do it,
because I know, it's long weekend, so I know a lot of my clients are closed on Friday, so that's
okay.
why this next 2 days are good for me. Not sure how much we're going to be able to get done given how it's a long weekend, but let's hope we can lock something up already. I know we also have the Torrance lady.
Yes.
She hasn't said much, but she did sign the LI.
Yeah, so we need to. That's something we got to push and go visit her, and then solidify everything with her at the end of the day. So I know it's a little late. She's a late bird, so it wouldn't hurt to do a little reach out. But we can maybe try to hit her in the morning when we're chatting, and we can both get on the horn. Let's do a conference call with her, see if we can get her on the horn and solidify that. Cool.
All right, sounds good, Eric. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, you got it, man. I know it's a snoozy time, right? Gonna crash out?
No, not yet. Kids are here, so.
Oh yeah, they up?
Yeah, they're sleeping late. They're on vacation these days.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got in here. So hour and 44 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to move forward with some of this stuff. So if anybody, like I said, hey, Rodrigo, appreciate you at the end of the day. If you want to stay in and watch or hang out, that's cool too. If you got to go do some stuff with the kids, I definitely get it. Appreciate you as always. As far as anything that you want to share or say, are we good to go?
We're good to go for today.
Awesome. Beautiful. So we'll see you tomorrow. But like I said, hey, if you want to listen in and stay in, that's cool. A lot of stuff you probably are familiar with, right? But other than that, do appreciate you.
Thank you, Eric. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right. No, I appreciate Rodrigo jumping in. I know we had Anthony and a few other people with the links, and it was from different areas like New York, Washington, California, Midwest, Florida, Texas, SoCal, a couple SoCal peeps, peeps, I meant, right? SoCal peeps. Man, oh man, right? Live, real, and raw. So let's get into this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We might as well just go 2 hours on this bad boy. So join your AMP Live challenge and learn how to get real estate deals within the first 30 days. Now, this is the only program, I guarantee you, the only true one-on-one mentoring program on the planet designed to help you truly become a creative real estate investor. There's only 2 spots left for the one-on-one. It is a selection process. I believe we have, I'm going to go ahead and drop the application in the chat. I don't know if that was about, but I'm not lying. I'm going to tell you, hey, catch us on TikTok. If you watch this, catch us on TikTok in the morning or afternoon when we jump in. There's always going to be an awesome, juicy lesson I'm going to share. And now we're going to be doing this on YouTube. Now, Facebook and the other social media platforms, we go pretty long with these live webinars, and usually they're like through a Zoom call, but we're doing this through RE Stream, which is an awesome, cool software, as we go live on all these different platforms and sharing this stuff live. And then obviously we can monetize it, chop it up into shorts and all that beautiful stuff. So if you definitely want to get on here and be part of this show, don't be shy, don't be afraid, because social media is the new currency, as you know. And we're more than happy to have you. Okay. So as we move forward, you can just join the challenge. It's very simple. See if you qualify. Start your AMP Live form right here for the mentorship application. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a newbie? Have some real estate training, seasoned investor, real estate agent, don't matter. Let's say maybe right here. Go ahead and pop in your name, last name, email, phone, and then start your application. It's going to take you to another page. It's going to ask you more information just about what you've been doing, what you're all about, and all that good stuff. Lovely, easy stuff. And obviously, we spent money and you're still spinning your wheels. No more. I promise you, you won't have to do that anymore. This is like the last stop for you. This is the last stop to be able to rock and roll and to achieve what you want to achieve in your business, to get the results that you need. Now, I know a lot of people go, well, they want to see testimonials. So I'm not going to get into how this part right here, but there are testimonials, right? Some right here. There's others with the mentoring program. I'm going to go ahead. I think I have a testimonial page as well that I'll share with you. But I'm going to share that right now. They're there. If you need them, we'll share them with you. But I do want to share this right here, which is the Creative Real Estate Domination Live, which is what we're already talking about, right? It's the 250th edition. Declare your financial independence. Now, as I started getting into the political rock and rollness and realm, right, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up with this, because this is what this is all about, after all. It's about the freedom. It's about having that freedom. It's about being able to go out and buy property, do things that other people thought or think that you cannot do, which is obviously doable. And I'm sharing that with you today. So the same spirit, new revolution, 1776 to 2026, right? Americans declared independence from a system that taxed them without giving them what? A fair shot. No representation, no deal, no fair deal. So they what? They built their own path. That's what we're doing now. That's what creative real estate investing is. It helps you build your own path, but playing in the guidelines and playing within the rules that are out here and outlined in America. Everybody is allowed to do it. Now, the financial system keeps Americans renting, in debt, and on the wrong side of the math, which is true, and it sucks. That's what I call the fleecing of America. AHA is the new declaration. Creative finance, creative real estate, real ownership, no permission is freaking needed. Beautiful thing, right? That is what Americans, AHA, Americans Helping Americans, was built for. Now what I want to share with you right now is, look, I shared the 810 secret, right? The difference between having an interest rate mortgage now and what it could be. The 4 doors, right, to creative finance and real estate investing. No bank, no 20% down, no credit. A live deal. We went through a couple of live deals, and we went through 4 different scenarios on those deals. So hopefully you appreciate that. And these are live deals, by the way. You heard from, the horse's mouth at the end of the day. Real proof how everyday Americans close their first deals with zero experience. That's in the testimonials, right? That's talking about deals. I talk about one of my deals in the past, right? I talk about other people's deals and how the young man who went from having a wholesale deal to a fix and flip. It's everything's relevant and doable. It's battle tested. Your independence, your July 4th path to financial independence is here. The links, it's in the actual the chat. Now I'm going to put a QR code up here so you can actually scan that and jump in. And this is going to be for the AMP Live Accelerator. And we're honoring this right now. If you scan that QR code right there, it's for the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. It is for July. It is for the vets. It is for everybody who believes in our country and the United States of America for its 250th anniversary, as well as for what? 4th of July. It is good until Sunday. It is good until Sunday at midnight. When that Sunday at midnight is over, then yes, that's moving from $1,997 to $12,997. I would like you to become either a founder or a charter member. Now, this is obviously for a charter member to be able to tap into this for $1,997. If you scan the QR code right now, jump aboard. Onboarding takes literally minutes, and then you'll get introduced to VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments, your lending partner. And then obviously there's going to be a call that you can book with myself and my team. We're going to go in and we're going to have a roadmap for you. We're going to build a target for you, and then we're going to rock and roll together. If you show up to the party, you will be successful. If you show up to the party and execute, you're going to see results and you're going to get results. If you don't, shame on you for not doing that. I don't want you to do that. That's not the purpose here. I want you to show up. And I get it. It's all about integrity, loyalty, and communication. Communication can break down, as I've shared with a couple people today. And the first two cannot be broken. Those covenants and credos cannot be broken. If they are broken, they won't be broken by us. I guarantee it. But, anything can happen, right? The world, life, whatever. But it's usually on the other side. And if that's the case, then, hey, good luck to you. Keep moving forward. And, it is what it is. You're not going to make it in this business. But let's keep on rolling forward. And to the next slide here, or the next, let's say, presentation part. I didn't even get into my whole Real Estate Domination live networking meetup, the whole show that I want to share with you. That's actually, I think there's a lot in there, but we already shared a lot. So this is more about value today. And I'm glad it went that way. I'm not going to go ahead and share this because you know what it is. 6.6% new loan or subject to. Take your pick. And here's obviously, we shared these today, subject to, seller finance, wholesale, innovation. We did all 4 of those suckers today. So I'm going to have to edit and chop up this video and use the shit out of it. Use the heck out of it. Use the shizzle out of it, right? So obviously, yes, people that have gotten contracts in 14 days, patients who's an agent, and obviously a real estate investor, being able to close deals on the road. Others that have been, being able to fix and flip properties, buy and hold, wholesale, and learning subject to, as well as life. I got some life coaching all up in there. That's all the stuff that we deliver to our mentees and students. Declare your financial independence. Amp Live Accelerator, 30-day path to your first creative real estate deal or wholesale deal. Doesn't matter. Most likely 9 times out of 10, if that's part of your jam and part of your game plan is a wholesale deal, boom, we're going to get that. But when we see that on the table, when you start opening up your eyes, you go, just like when we asked Rodrigo, would you want to do that deal? He was thinking about, where am I going to get the money? How am I going to get the money? What you don't know is what you don't know, but what you do know is what we know, and bring it to the table to make it happen and get executed. Your first deal may be a wholesale deal. It may be a sub-2 deal. It may be a seller finance lease option or rent to own deal. Once you wrap that around your head and you go, is it possible? Yes, it's possible, because people have done it. Mentees and students have done it, right? That is the essence of our one-on-one mentoring program. And yes, the hybrid of the Amp Live Accelerator program, where there is live coaching. And I'm going to honor it like we always do when we do these promos. I said I was going to do it, but we'll keep on doing these promos where it's part of the 250-year anniversary. It's part of 4th of July. It's part of America. So we'll do the hybrid coaching, hybrid of one-on-one mentoring and the coaching, live coaching, as well as the deal analysis, and sprinkling on top of that. If you rise to the top and you're working, we see you're working, then we're willing to JV and work deals with you, along with the support is a no-brainer. That comes with it no matter what. Support every Tuesday, answer any questions, technical or whatever you need to have done. We'll help you and put you in the right direction. And obviously the charter pricing locked in before it rises to 12,000. Charter pricing is locked in, right? That's for the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. That's otherwise, once it goes on the end of midnight, it's going to be $12,997. That is the regular price. Now, free, obviously, if you signed up, you check your email, you're going to get it. It's called the Wealth Gap Report. It's yours free for joining between January 1st and January 7th, which is Monday. So you still got time to grab it. You can scan that QR code right there and lock your spot in ASAP. AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, powered by Amp Live Media Broadcasting and Marketing Company, and obviously our sponsors and affiliated partners, VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments. Step into excellence. I appreciate you. We appreciate you because they do a bang up awesome job. Let me go ahead and there it is. Scan the QR code. It's right there. Easy peasy stuff. I know it's been a long one, but hopefully you got some value through this. There's a lot of stuff that we dropped on the table today. I don't think there's anything else that I need to share because we're pretty deep into this. I'm going to go ahead and leave that like that. I will put my mug up here, and then I'm going to close this out with our same phrases and catchphrases, right? And that's God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. Okay. Thank you, AHA, Americans Helping Americans. I want to say thank you all past, present, and future mentees of America. We thank you. We love you. And we know there's more that's been signing up for the subject to calculators for this, obviously, live domination webinar and meetup. This is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So you can attend. They're always, you never know, right? Because there's a schedule. But like I always say, through Amp Live TV, it's always real, raw, and I stand for truth. So I'm always going to be dropping truth bombs, maybe some S-bombs, some F-bombs. I just got to be careful about some of that stuff because some of the platforms, are finicky and touchy. Unless we're doing straight up Zoom, or we're doing this and it's just being recorded, but not being streamed and broadcast across all the different social media platforms. Then we're just in here talking with Imano with us. And then I don't care if you cuss, I don't care what the heck you do or what you say, just as long as you're awesome and, not rude and things of that nature, then, hey, we'd love to have you. And then we really get into it. Okay. And those are like a little top secret elite meetings as I'll drop even more stuff at the end of the day that I wouldn't on a live stream or even just, any other regular Zoom. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and say rock and roll. That's the other one. Rock and roll in all that you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. Never stop. So we keep on dreaming as well. Keep on reading. Whatever fires you up, you got to rock and roll it. Never, ever give up because then, hey, what's the purpose, right? The purpose of life is to keep on rocking. You get up every morning. Have gratitude. Thank you for my family. Thank you for the air. Thank you for this beautiful sun. Thank you for the things that I'm learning. Also, thank you. At the end of the day, when you come aboard, you're going to be going, man, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Erick Jimenez. Thank you, Amp Live. Thank you, AHA, VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments, man. Guys and gals, we're bringing all this stuff to you. We're bringing all these resources to you. There's no way you can fail. The only way you can fail is by not showing up, by not doing, by not listening, and by not executing. If that's the case, if those are things that you do, then this is probably not the program for you. Right? You don't want to watch a bunch of videos. Stop watching a bunch of videos. But, for us, hey, even it's like part of training. Even I don't care where you go. You can go to any company. They got video training now, right? It's standard. And you have to do it. And if you don't do the video training, what happens? You don't get to keep they're going to, they'll bitch about it. And they say, if you don't do that, then, you're not going to get on the schedule. Or you're not going to get hours. Or you're not complying. And you may get fired, right? So it's kind of the same thing. Think of it that way, right? You're not going to get fired if you don't watch the videos working with us. It's for you. These are things, everything we're doing is for you. At the same token, yeah, it's reciprocal. We're going to make money as we do deals. We're going to make money to the ones that rock and roll and rise to the top, right? Because we want to work with those people because they are hungry. Now, obviously, the ones that are not, maybe and everybody in the community can help each other. That's cool too. I get all that. But that's what we're doing too. So what are we going to talk about? So catch me tomorrow. I'll catch us tomorrow on TikTok. That schedule's being set for YouTube as well. They're going to be like 10 minute segments of training. Boom, all powerhouse training. On TikTok, we're going in there for about 30 minutes. We're doing obviously some training. We're also going to be talking about how to do what? How to buy a property with no money. How to buy a property with no money, no credit, all that other good crazy stuff, right? Stuff that we talked about earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Otherwise, I'll be chatting here for hours and hours and hours. We're going to cut this out and chop it down and obviously monetize it. So I appreciate you. Thank you once again for watching the live Domination Live Networking Meetup. Definitely sign up. We're probably going to be chatting and see if we're a good fit anyways and see where you fit in one of these programs or not. At the same token, it's okay, right? Maybe you're ready, maybe you're not. I say, yeah, if you're watching this, you're probably ready. You're probably fired up. Let's get you going. Let's get you rocking and rolling. Well, once again, without further ado, rock and roll in all what you do. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. We'll see you tomorrow for Thursday Deals Day, Friday for Friday highlights, Saturday for some Saturday training live in the field, as well as my favorite show, the Sunday sermon, Rants and Raves. And then we'll be back for Monday story or Monday deal story time. Yeah, like Mr. Rogers. I'm just kidding. And Mindset Money Monday. And we'll just keep on rocking and rolling. So the schedule's the schedule. We'll keep it the way it is unless it starts getting, unless we decide we're going to eliminate some shows or whatever. But Once again, I think we're done, right? AHA, American Style Americans, Amplified Media, Media and Broadcasting Marketing Company, VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investment, Step into Excellence. Thank you for watching. Rock and roll in all what you do. Celebrate. Have a good, awesome. If we don't see you till then, I'm sure you're going to see us in and out. But if you don't and you're out, be safe out there, right? Because, it is what it is. People are, they're partying and doing stuff. So be safe, be smart, get a driver, designated driver stuff. This and prayers for you, right? Okay. Other than that, good night.